If I seem pretty excited today, it's because I am. A little bit of backstory. I heard about a model that was coming out. I wanted it. And I waited, and it would not release. I kid you not. I've been waiting since probably late middle school, early high school for this. I just finished my third year of college. That's how long I've been waiting. And it's finally here. It is finally here. I'm like beyond excited for this now. This has been way too long of a wait. And for those of you wondering what it is the Intermountain GP16. This one in particular is Santa Fe Southern 93. Y'all should have known that I was getting this one. But it is finally here today. And you know what? I decided that this was absolutely worth doing a video over. So we're doing a model review for once. Hopefully this is also something new for the channel. So let's see what we got.
Santa Fe Southern 93 is an EMD GP16 built in 1952 for the Louisville and Nashville Railroad. Originally numbered 414, it was later renumbered to 2304. In 1982, it was rebuilt and sold to the Seaboard Coastline and renumbered to 4804. In 1986, it went to CSX Transportation and numbered 1850. It had a short stay at the Minnesota Valley Railroad before eventually winding up on the Santa Fe Southern Railway in 1993. Today, the locomotive still resides here and has been repainted into the current Sky Railway paint scheme. This is the box the model arrived in. It's a pretty standard box for Intermountain. Let's open it up and see what's inside. I don't know if this is just me, but as usual with Intermountain models, the plastic cover that usually goes over the model does not come out with the model. But inside, along with the model, we have an operator's guide, which basically goes over the DCC and sound functions. There's also another guide inside which goes over more sound options that you can add to your locomotive if you wish to change the sounds. And there's also a simple guide on how to remove the shell if you need to perform any maintenance work. With those out of the way, let's get to the locomotive itself. It's once again a pretty standard packaging for Intermountain with two plastic covers and then the frame that the locomotive is mounted to. So we'll remove those plastic pieces so we can remove the locomotive. It's models like this where I realize these screws are why I don't buy Intermountain products. This is what's mounting the locomotive to the frame. Now don't get me wrong, it is a very efficient design and it actually does serve its purpose. However, it can be tedious removing the locomotive and then putting it back in the box when you're trying to align the screws. I very much prefer models where all I have to do is simply remove the plastic casing, take it out, and I'm good to go. But like I said, it at least does its job. Once the screws have been removed, the locomotive is free. And with that, we can now move on to detail. At first glance, the paint on this model is really sharp. It looks like as if this locomotive was brand new on the railroad back in 1993. The front of the model is very detailed. As you can see, it's got air hoses, MU hoses, and even the cut lever on the front actually moves, which I think is a really nice detail. And no ditch lights are also accurate for this time period. Moving a little more to the side, the handrails are straight as they should be on the real model. As you can see below, it also says GP16 just below the hood. The striping is a detail that was added onto the locomotive around 2005-2006, so this would be post that era. Moving back to the side, we can see the long hood with Santa Fe Southern and the contrasting colors between the two. One detail though that is not accurate is the exhausts actually have spark arresters on top. However, those can be added on if you so desire. The rear of the locomotive is just as detailed as the front, and it is accurate to the real thing. Here's a view from the other side. Here's a quick glance at the roof, which is pretty simple with just the horn and antenna on top. In terms of detail, this locomotive looks great, but how does it perform? Let's go to the test track and find out. Out of the box, the DCC address for this locomotive is going to be 3. Now this locomotive is equipped with sound, so we're going to listen to some of the sound functions as well. F8 is going to be the engine startup. F0 is going to be the headlight. F5 is the number boards. F1 is the bell. And F2 is the horn. Now we're going to look at the speed of this locomotive, more so based on just how slow it can go. So we're going to give it 1% power here. It is just slightly jerky. That could also be because my test track is dirty. I don't know. However, going in reverse, it definitely had more problems at slower speeds. In terms of coupler height, the locomotive is virtually dead on both the front and the rear. So overall, this is a very, very nice model. I'm not really much into going with 4 axles, but this was definitely worth years and years of waiting. Intermountain honestly did a really nice job with this locomotive. So if you're in the market for just a small little industrial locomotive, give this one a try. But with that, I am going to leave it off with just a few run-bys of this locomotive. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Yeah, I don't know.